Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about emotional needs in a relationship. 12 emotional needs in a romantic relationship. And what are emotional needs? Well, emotional needs are feelings and emotions that we need in the relationship to make us feel happy, to make us feel satisfied, to make us feel that we're at peace with our partner and that we are at peace in the relationship. And if we don't get these emotional needs met, we feel unloved, we feel hurt, we feel frustrated, we feel dissatisfied and stressed and annoyed in the relationship, right? So some signs that your emotional needs are not being met would be if you feel frustration, if you feel annoyed, if you feel angry, if you feel resentful towards your partner, if you are withdrawing from your partner, if you are trying to minimize your needs to avoid conflict and to avoid tension, that means your emotional needs are not being met. If you're fighting frequently, that's also a sign. If you're trying to seek fulfillment outside the relationship, that's also a sign. If you're losing value for your partner and you're losing value for the relationship, that means your needs are not being met within the relationship, right? If you feel the relationship is one-sided, if you feel unloved, if you feel dissatisfied, if you feel rejected, if you feel lonely, if you feel unappreciated, if you feel taken for granted, if you feel unseen, unheard, and just not safe in your relationship, those are signs that your emotional needs are not being met. So 12 emotional needs in a romantic relationship. First one is we need to feel accepted. We need to be accepted for who we are, and our partner also need to accept us for who we are. We need to respect our beliefs. They need to respect our beliefs. They need to respect our opinions and our values, and vice versa. Everything I'm going to say is vice versa, right? So your partner also need to accept your flaws and your weaknesses. We would not need to force or try to change our partner, force any beliefs or opinions on our partner. We don't try to change our partner. We need to also understand that whatever happened in the past could affect your partner's behavior, and that their past does not define them. We need to give each other time to be better and to work on ourselves and to be proud of the growth that we see in our partner, right? So we need to feel accepted within the relationship. We also need to feel validated. We need validation in our romantic relationship. We need to make our partner feel heard and to make them feel that they are understood. We need to listen to understand them. We need to be present when they're talking and to be patient with them. We need to show empathy, right? We might not always agree with their perspective or what they're doing or what they're saying, but sometimes, most of the time, we need to show empathy. We need to go in their shoes and see from their perspective so they could feel heard and they could feel understood, right? How we do that? We repeat what they said to us so we can know that we understand, and we ask questions to show that we are interested in them, right? We would also make them feel that it's normal to be sad, it's normal to be disappointed, it's normal to be misunderstood sometimes, and to be worried. So feelings would be normal in the relationship, right? Validation could also look like you see things from their eyes in terms of, for example, birthdays are important to your partner. Anniversary, Valentine, Christmas, New Year, and many other holidays might be important to your partner, and it might not be as important to you, but because you love them and you respect them and you want to have a good relationship, you would show interest in these events, right? when they're talking or when they're stressed or frustrated about something, we could look at them when they're talking, focus on what they're saying, make eye contact. We could touch, we could take their hand, we could stroke their hair, we could give them a hug, we could give a gentle touch to show that we understand and that we are there and that we are listening. Those are forms of showing validation. Next emotional need would be affection. And we could do that with loving words. Tell them how amazing they are. Tell them that you love them. Tell them why they are special. You tell them why they are unique to you. You compliment them on their looks, on their hair, and how they dress. You compliment them on good things about them that deals with their character and their personality. You could also show affection by spending quality time with them. Yes, we know we are busy with our jobs and our jobs might be really demanding and take long hours, but sometimes we know that we need to put aside some time to reconnect with them. Maybe we plan a surprise date, or we participate in their hobbies. We prioritize them by spending quality time with them. We can also show affection where we use physical touch. We hug them, we kiss them, we hold their hand, we come from behind and hug them and kiss them on their cheek or kiss them on their neck. We spoon with them on the couch, we cuddle with them, and we show them love, right? We could also use sexual intimacy. Maybe we could ask them what they like in bed and then we do it. We have sex with them in a loving way and we show affection and we show our emotions during sex. We could do that. We could also do kind acts to show affection. We give them gifts. We offer to clean their car. We take out the garbage. We pick up groceries for them. We don't forget their birthday. We don't forget your anniversary. You give them gifts. Valentine's Day, you show them love, especially if that's a day that's important to them. You celebrate things with them. You make time to connect with them every day. You go on adventure, you go on trips. That is showing affection, that you love them and that you care about them. Next one would be autonomy. We need to feel independent in our relationship because we are still an individual. We need to have the ability and know that we have the opportunity and the chance to make our own decisions. You know, you might be in a serious relationship, in a commitment, in a marriage, but you will still have your own goals. You will still have your own hobbies. You still have your own friends. You still have your own individual interests, right? You should be maintaining your own identity, right? You should be also making your own decisions. Sometimes you might have a decision that would affect your partner. Obviously, you will need to go to your partner to discuss that issue and make the decision, but you should be free to eat what you want, to sleep when you want, to take the medications you want, to take care of yourself the way you want, to tell them how much time alone you need, right? You should be giving each other space and privacy, space to be themselves. You should also be able to express that your diary is private, your journal is private, your emails are private. Maybe you want to keep your messages private. Your phone would be locked. That is your own choice. You should be able to make those decisions. You might have different cultures, and your partner needs to respect your culture. You respect the culture of your partner. You have different values, you have different opinions, you have different beliefs. One of you might be religious, one might be spiritual, and we just need to respect our partner and their individuality, right? We also need to have recreation, and we need to do leisure activities and have companionship within our relationship, right? You should be doing each other's hobbies. right? That is a good way to have fun and to get closer to your partner. It's an opportunity to bond with your partner. Like, especially if you have conflict within the relationship or other areas of your life, it's a good way to release stress, to relax, to release stress and to release exhaustion from your lives, from your job. Lifestyle might be really hectic, and doing recreational activities is a great way to release stress, right? It helps to prevent you from seeing a relationship as like a burden or as a duty that you must perform, right? So playing board games and maybe going to a dance class together, or an art class, or playing sports together, or you travel, or you plan a picnic or a trip or something like that, doing some sort of recreational activity would improve the relationship, would improve the mental health of both of you, would release stress, anxiety, and depression, right? It's a really good opportunity to get more connected to your partner. And while doing these recreational activities, you get time to ask questions, you get time to talk about many topics. You could talk about the relationship, you could talk about the kids, you could talk about your sex life, you could talk about intimacy, you could talk about your past, right? It's just a way to break out of the usual routine, right? Another emotional need in a relationship is your physical attractiveness should be maintained. We need to control our weight. We still need to eat healthy. We still need to exercise and control our weight and prevent ourselves from becoming obese. We need to continue to take care of our hygiene, take care of our skin, nails, hair, how we dress, our facial hair, how we smell. We just need to continue to take care of our hygiene and our health and our weight. That is important to us. Sometimes people, they get in a serious commitment, they might get married and they just let go themselves and they just do whatever and not maintain that physical attractiveness, right? Next thing we need, emotional need in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, would be intimate conversations. When you have intimate conversations, you have a better, you would have a better understanding of the person, right? You would have a higher sense of closeness. You would understand them better when you have intimate conversations. You would also be able to resolve intimacy issues that you are facing within the relationship. And when you have intimate conversation, you maintain this emotional closeness, this emotional connection is maintained and even improves. It strengthens the bond, and it enhances the feelings that you have for each other when you have intimate conversations, right? It's an opportunity to be honest, to tell the truth, and to be vulnerable about different issues. Maybe you put aside. Sometimes in a relationship, you might not talk about important things because you're busy. You could have intimate relationships and you come back and you be honest and you be vulnerable. It's an opportunity to apologize if you did something wrong, right? It could be another opportunity to tell them how much you appreciate them and how much you love them. In these intimate conversations, you can also take time to talk about finances, talk about the kids, talk about sex, talk about relationship goals, talk about the insecurities you have, talk about your spirituality, talk about your weaknesses, talk about your flaws, and all of these things. Great opportunity to talk about many things that you probably put aside as day-to-day in your day-to-day life when you're busy. The next thing we need is trust and honesty in our relationship. When we're honest and we trust our partner, it really encourages a healthy communication between you two. Your relationship would be true and an authentic relationship. When you have trust and honesty, you have a high quality relationship, right? You trust that when you have issues, You know and you trust and you believe that your partner would be proactive in addressing any tension or any conflict or any relationship issues. You believe and you trust that your partner will walk through this with you, right? You should feel safe to bring up any issues with your partner, right? When we lie and we cheat, we really like dilute the bond, and the bond get weaker and weaker with every lie that you tell. It's important to be transparent and to be open with information. It is good to be open and transparent for your mental health within the relationship, to not be worrying, and ways that you could be honest. You just follow through with your promises. If you say that you're going to do something, you do it. You are consistent in your behavior, in what you say, in what you do. You are reliable. You want to be reliable to your partner. You want to be open about your thoughts, about your feelings, so you can know that you're on the same page, right? Even when you know that the truth is going to hurt them, you will still tell the truth because you respect them, you love them, and trust and honesty will be important to you, right? And when you're honest and truthful, it avoids judgment and criticism. You know, you don't want your partner to look at you in a bad light, to say that you're dishonest and you're unfaithful and that you're a liar and that you can't be trusted. So when you're honest and you tell the truth, you avoid judgment and you avoid criticism within your relationship, right? You should always tell the truth in your relationship, and honesty is very important in a relationship. It reduces stress. You know, you don't want your partner to be worrying and wondering if you're lying, right? You don't want your partner to be wondering if you are going the place that you say you are going. You don't want your partner to be worrying when you say that you love them. They wonder if it's true. They're wondering if it's good enough. You know, your partner might be worried and wondering what you're doing on your phone when they're not around, right? Honesty also create respect. And if you know your partner is someone who's anxious, somebody anxious, you don't want them to be worrying, right? You say you might be going out with your colleagues after work, you just call or you send a text and you say where you're going and what time you'll be back, right? And that would encourage your partner to do the same thing and to show their best qualities. You show each other respect by being honest and by being truthful. And this encourages acceptance of each other. Also, we also want security in our relationship. We want to feel secure. We want to feel supported. For example, when we feel down, when we feel stressed, when we feel frustrated and things are not going the way that we want to know that our partner will be there for us. You know, we don't want to leave our partner waiting on a message, waiting on a call, waiting on a date, leaving people hanging. Especially if your partner is anxious or have anxiety, you don't want to leave their messages unread for many long hours. They call you and you don't call them back. You call back, show respect so your partner could feel secure within the relationship. You know, when you don't respond, you take long hours to respond, you don't call back, it causes their mind to race and worry if they're anxious, right? If they have an anxious attachment style. And you should know how your partner will react if you take very long hours to respond. They worry and they wonder. Some might even worry and wonder that something bad has happened to you and you don't want that, right? Also, you need to be consistent in your affection. You would cause bitterness if you're like hot and cold. 1 week you're loving and kind, you show attention, and the next week you're cold and you're distant and you're avoidant, or you just distant, isolate yourself. You have to be consistent when you show love and affection. Your partner might wonder, like, start to wonder if you love them. They're wondering if you're with someone else. They're wondering if the relationship is over. They're wondering if you're using them. They wonder many things. Maybe they're wondering if you're taking them for granted, right? You need to be consistent with love and your affection. You kiss them, you hug them, you just consistent in your words, you compliment them. You show attention in some way every day. Let them know that you will show up for them and that you are reliable. And doing all of that creates a sense of security in relationship. When you feel unsafe, this causes fights, this causes arguments and unnecessary breakups, right? So security is really important. You need to feel safe in your relationship. You need to let each other live their life and not be worried. You need to let your partner have their own life and not be worried. You have your own life and you're not worried about them, right? You don't want to have the urge to be snooping around trying to check their messages. You want to snoop on social media trying to find things out. You want to feel secure in your relationship. You don't want to feel the urge to have to snoop around, right? If your partner say I love you, you don't want to be wondering if they're telling the truth, right? Another way that you could feel insecure is like you're probably afraid to confront them. It should be easy to confront your partner. You should be comfortable bringing things up and knowing that not everything will create an argument, right? And this would build trust. You build trust, you build honesty, and you build vulnerability when you work on feeling secure in your relationship. You should feel that your partner loves you unconditionally and that they will be there when there's tough times. And you feel safe and secure that you will not be judged and criticized if you tell your true feelings or you tell your true thoughts about something. Right? If you make a mistake or you have a bad day, you know that your partner will just see you for who you are and understand you. Right? Your relationship should not feel chaotic. It should not be filled with jealousy and fighting. You should have a fair compromise within the relationship. You must believe and be sure that they will be there for you and they will show up for you when you're struggling, when you have fears, when you have obstacles. You should not feel alone in your relationship, struggling through every problem by yourself, right? That's security. We also need empathy and we need compassion and forgiveness in our relationship. Empathy helps us to forgive. Empathy strengthens relationship. When we understand how our partner feels and we put ourselves in their shoes, we would actually show that we care genuinely because we understand how they feel, right? Having empathy would decrease anger and aggression towards your partner because you understand how they feel. It builds closeness and respect for your partner when you fully understand them and you could feel how they feel in different situations. We also need to have compassion. Recognize when our partner is suffering, right? And be loving and kind to them throughout the hard processes that they might be going through. We give them attention, we make them feel seen, we make them feel heard, and we recognize and we understand what is happening to them. And we show love and we show support. We should listen with intention. Let them finish their story, let them finish their thoughts, let them finish explaining how they're feeling before we jump to conclusion or before we try to solve the problem. Limit distractions when they're talking to you. Come off your phone, stop scrolling, stop texting when your partner is talking to you, right? Show affection when they're speaking to you. Give them a gentle touch, kiss them, hug them, make love to them, encourage them, give encouraging words, compliment them, especially when they're going through a rough time, right? Having compassion. We should also make them feel valued and appreciated. That's another way of showing of being compassionate. Acknowledging the good things they do, acknowledging when they try, right? Supporting their dreams, supporting their hopes and their aspirations. You show compassion because you are actually their friend. You are real friends. So you show compassion to them, you understand them, you support their dreams, you support their hopes and their aspirations, you motivate them. Right? We should also be forgiven in our relationship. Being forgiven when you make a mistake, you make an error, could make you feel satisfied, could make you feel safe in a relationship. When you forgive your partner, your relationship would actually last longer. Forgiveness does not necessarily mean that you approve of what they're doing or you accept what they're doing or you just forget about what they're doing. Forgiveness doesn't mean that you're going back to abusive relationship or you're going back to this neglectful partner or anything like that. It's just understanding that you are not perfect. We all have separate ways of thinking, we have separate viewpoints, we have different perspectives, we do things differently, we think differently, so we might not be in alignment with our partner all the time, right? We all have been hurt, we all have flaws, we all make mistakes, and that is why forgiveness is very important in a relationship. Nobody is perfect, right? Your relationship will last longer when you forgive your partner. And your conflicts would be resolved quicker when you don't hold a grudge, when you don't make your partner feel shame or guilty or put pressure on your partner to be perfect. You create a healthy environment within your relationship, less conflict. When you hold a grudge and you're harboring resentment, you create more hostility and you try to punish your partner, you avoid them when they do something wrong, you give silent treatment, you're cool with them when they do something wrong, you don't want to forgive them. All of this create conflict, causing you to go back and forth having the same problems over and over because you would not forgive them and move on and understand that they're human and they made a mistake. Right? It will help you to solve problems and help you to get rid of disrespectful behaviors when you forgive and you understand. You don't want to have the same problems and the same disrespectful behaviors going on. So you both need to understand each other, understand that you made a mistake, you forgive them, and you try to be better and not make the same mistake. Lack of forgiveness causes bitterness. It causes you to be angry and just resentful. And you're angry and bitter and you can't enjoy the present moment, you can't enjoy your relationship. You feel frustrated, you feel anxious, you start to feel depressed. With all the pressure and the closeness, you start to be less close to your partner. You lose the closeness with each other when you don't forgive them. We also need sexual fulfillment. Sex can be used to create positive changes in a relationship when you have conflict and different issues. It could also be used to, lower blood pressure or reduce stress, have a better intimacy within the relationship. Sex could also be used to avoid breaking up, to avoid divorce, to release tension and to resolve conflicts in the right manner. Right? But the importance of sex is vary between people. Some people think that a sexual connection is really important and some people may not value sex that much. But if your partner values sex and sex is important to your partner, maybe they just want to feel confident about themselves, they want to feel sexy, they probably trying to have children, they want to relieve stress, they want to feel pleasure, or they want to have fun with you. Or sex could be a way that they show love, they show affection, they show that they care about you. They use sex to feel closer to you. They want to feel secure in the relationship, so they want to have sex often. Or They use sex to bond with you and to form greater intimacy with you, right? So we need sexual fulfillment. We also need domestic support, depending on where you are in your relationship. If you are in a marriage, if you are in a serious commitment, you want to have a peaceful environment. We want to have a peaceful home, a well-managed home environment. So you would need support sometimes when it comes to cooking, cleaning, washing, ironing clothes, cleaning the house, taking care of the kids. You both would need support in that, right? When you get help from your partner, sometimes you feel fulfilled and you feel happy about that. And when they don't help you, you get annoyed and frustrated, and that would create conflicts, right? We also need financial support, and we need a mutual understanding when it comes to money. Money issues and money matters can lead to stress in a relationship. You should have conversations about money, right? Depending on where you are in your relationship, if it's a marriage, if you're started to be more serious in your relationship, you will need to have conversations about money. You will need to go over the basic things like how much you earn, what is your income. If you owe bank, if you have student loans, if you have credit card debt, you need to share how much you're saving, what is your budget like. You don't want to find out that your partner owe $10,000 or your partner owe $38,000 to the bank and all these things. You don't want to find out that as a surprise. You need to actually talk about money. If you have money goals, you need to talk about that. Maybe one partner is saving to build a house or buy a house, but the other partner interested in going on vacation and doing all this stuff, and you need to be in alignment. So you need to talk about money, your money goals, right? So you could see if you are financially compatible with each other, because that could cause conflict when you're not financially compatible, when you don't have the same goals when it comes to money. You might not be in alignment with them at the moment, but if you love them and you want to continue the relationship, you might have to make some compromise somewhere so both of you can feel fulfilled financially. You must talk about money in a relationship, right? It's important. And the last one, we need to feel respected. Feeling respected is very important in a relationship, right? And I'm just going to talk about subtle ways that we could show respect. And one way we could show respect in a relationship is when you know that your partner will be willing and ready to talk about any issue in the relationship, to avoid conflict, to resolve conflict, and they would not disregard you or make you feel unimportant when you bring up an issue, right? Showing respect also could be demonstrated as you take part and you express interest in the things that are important to them. You take part in their interests, in their hobbies, right? Showing respect could also be listening to them carefully. You're not on your phone when they're talking. You make eye contact. That is showing respect. Not scrolling on your phone while they're talking. And this is a very, very big problem today. You're talking to someone and they're on their phone, scrolling, and most of the time it's nothing important. You're talking to them, they're checking their messages, they're checking their email, they're on social media, scrolling, not doing anything important, and you're talking to them. And that's very disrespectful and it's very annoying, right? And it's very popular right now. Most of the time, if I'm talking to someone and they're on their phone, most of the time I stop talking because I know they're not listening to me and they're not showing me respect, giving me the attention that I need, right? Some people are self-centered. They only think about their life. They only could see their problem. Their feelings are the most important. And if you're like that and in a relationship, your relationship will be very chaotic, right? Showing respect also means you invest time, you invest money, you invest energy in the relationship. You prioritize your partner and you make time for them. You spend quality time with them. That's a way of showing respect, right? You also show respect when you improve yourself. For them, for yourself, you improve yourself for the relationship. You're not complacent, right? You do better. You're not just there relaxed in relationship. There's always something to work on, to talk about, to make better. And showing respect means that you are willing to put time, energy, and money in relationship. Showing respect also could look like you don't disregard their feelings, you don't disregard their interests. Their opinions and their beliefs are important to you and you respect them. You don't force your opinion, force your values on them. You don't try to change them. Another way you show respect is if they ask for space. They want space to be alone. They probably need time to think about a topic. You give them time. You probably have this religion, they're spiritual. You respect that. You don't force your religion on them. They might have rituals. You don't mock them. You respect their rituals, right? Another way, you talk kindly to them. You don't shout at them. You don't curse them. You don't use bad words on them. Another way you show respect is that you take responsibility and accountability for your actions and your behaviors. Sometimes we make a mistake, we talk bad to our partner, we need to apologize. Take responsibility for when you do something wrong. Be accountable for your action. That is a way of showing respect for your partner. You don't flirt with others in front of your partner. You don't talk bad about your partner in front of them or behind their back. You respect your partner. Some people are so complacent and get so comfortable in their relationship and they lose respect. And some people might not know that being complacent in a relationship is disrespectful. Forgetting about your physical attractiveness, putting on weight, eating whatever, not taking care of yourself is disrespectful. They didn't meet you like that. Hiding information about your finances is disrespectful. Not being honest about how much you make, having financial goals and not speaking up, having loans to pay back and hiding, and then your partner have to find out you owe $38,000. That's disrespectful. Respect is very important, and honesty and trust and security, you know, right? So, and then sometimes our partner leave us. Maybe you have a good person in your life and they left and you're upset. And then you're trying to rush to fix your financial problem. Then you're trying to rush to lose weight. Then you're trying to be accountable and take responsibility for your bad behavior and your complacency. And they leave you and you lose out on being with somebody good. Today, we are too complacent and disrespectful, especially being on the phone when somebody talking to you, you scrolling, disrespectful. Right? So those are 14 emotional needs in a relationship. There are a lot, and there are many more, and you will not get all of them right. You will make mistakes. If your partner is important to you and you love them, you will try to work on some of these, especially if you have a lot of problems in your relationship and you want to save your relationship. You can start with trust. You start to tell the truth. Work on trust and honesty and security and respect. All of them are important. Yes, we need affection. We need to have sexual fulfillment. We need to have validation and all of that. But if your relationship has a lot of conflict and a lot of problems, you just start with trust and being honest, telling the truth, and showing some respect and trying to feel secure in your relationship. Right? You will not be perfect. You will make mistakes, and hopefully your partner would forgive you. You will not be perfect in these, but if you want a high quality relationship and love and relationship is important to you, you will work on some of these. So I hope this helped, and I trust and I believe you would improve your relationship if you are in one now. So that is all I have for this topic, and see you in the next video.